Hello, healthy friends. This is Terry with your Libra New Moon report. And this Libra New Moon, this is the new moon, is conjunct Mars, also in Libra, and the Sun are all aligning at that 13 degrees of Libra on October 6th. And when we have Mars, Sun, and Moon coming together in this kind of conjunction in Libra, we can have some very volatile energy, and this energy can lead to a lot of emotions coming up. And Libra, of course, is the sign of relationships. So it's a lot of emotions bubbling up around our relationships and how we relate to people in general. And so just knowing this as we go into this Libra new moon, having an awareness that you may be having lots of feelings coming up. And Mars, of course, Mars is the planet of rage and anger. So sometimes we can even have upsets in our relationships, but Mars is also very passionate. So you could be having a passionate love affair at this time, or it can be a combination of, getting in a huge fight with your loved one and then having a really passionate makeup afterwards. But no matter what, this Libra new moon is bringing in a whole bunch of fiery emotions in the way that we relate to others. So just being aware that this energy is so strong right now can really help you to maybe just be mindful in that moment, taking deep breaths. We're going to want to do a lot of deep belly breathing at this new moon and stay centered so that we don't lose our cool, and just let the feelings come up. But maybe you don't always have to say the thing that is going to upset your partner or your loved ones or your family or even your children. Just let the emotions rise up. Maybe write it down in a journal to think about later, but there can just be a lot of bubbling up of deep-seated anger. And of course, this it feels like Aries because of Mars, but it's this Libra new moon is going to be opposite that Chiron that is in Aries. And so we have Libra, Sun, and Moon, and Mars giving us this energetic, wanting to forge forward, wanting to have that ambition, wanting to take the next leap of faith and the next step and launch things. And I would say don't launch things during this very volatile energy, because this can lead to mistakes in making the wrong decision. If you take a leap now, it could be you're going the wrong direction, the wrong way. And but you're going to want to forge forward. And then it's opposite that Chiron in Aries, which is all about healing our deepest wounds. So the kinds of fights that we could even be having in our relationships right now could be those wounds, those deep wounded warrior, healer things that are coming up, even if you don't have that Chiron and Aries transit like so many of us are going through these 6 long years. Everybody's going to be feeling the deep Chiron in Aries wounds coming to the surface, wanting to be dealt with. At the same time, we're having trouble relating with others. It's just a battleground. I think this is a new moon. You just want to stay home and scream into your pillow. Just don't even go out. Don't even try. Don't get on social media. You'll see a lot of arguments and social media. You'll see a lot of arguments out in the world, a lot of rebellion and fighting and discord. It's just a really good new moon to just stay home and process your own inner deepest wounds. And this Sun, Moon, Mars conjunction in Libra, opposing that powerful Chiron in Aries, is a kind of aspect that can bring up a lot of fears. And it's a little bit like walking a tightrope across a cliff, which I have seen people do this here in Central Oregon at Smith Rock. You will see people crossing a tightrope across a cliff, and boy, that is just not anything I want to do right now. This is not a good time for taking risks. This is not a good time to be skydiving or rock climbing, or there can be a real chance of accidents during this time. I don't want to be all doom and gloom, but really just knowing this, you can take precautions and don't do any risky behavior on this October 6th. Really, I would say the month of October is not a great time for taking risks. And I do a lot of astrological consultations for businesses when they want to decide when should they have an event or when should they launch their next project. And this is sort of a dormant time right now with this new moon in Libra going into that Aries full moon. Boy, we're really even going into a November that is going to be such intense energy as we get closer to that eclipse season. And I just wouldn't be trying to do something new. I wouldn't be starting a new business. I wouldn't be launching a project. This isn't a good time to, put your video out there for coursework or something. I just think this is a sort of pull back, go within time right now. And this conjunction reminds me of a toddler who just needs to take a nap. It's like when the toddler gets that cortisol energy and they just have too much energy going and they think they're not tired. They get all spazzy if you've ever had children. And it's when they're really acting like they have too much energy is the time they need to go down. And so this intensity coming up for us all, it has us all yanging out. It's like too much energy. And so many of us are just completely exhausted. And I say it's like exhaustion from being resilient. I am really seeing this with my moms in my massage practice right now. All of my moms are just so exhausted, and it's because we've all been trying to be so resilient for these 2 years of pandemic times and all the transformations we've been through, all the changes in our lives. And sometimes we just need to pull our energy back in and just take that nap. And naps are just a wonderful way of resetting your energy, resetting your mindset, and just coming to that peaceful place where you can see clearly, and then you can take the next step. And the Sabian symbol for this new moon at 13 degrees of Libra just aligns with this concept so well. This comes from Dane Rudhyar's book that I have, and it was all of these Sabian symbols came from a psychic who intuited these ideas, these images, like 50, 60 years ago, and they still hold true. Every month I look into the Sabian symbols and I cannot believe how well they align to the degrees that we're going through. And this month is no different as I will read the Sabian symbol actually for 14 degrees because this new moon is coming in at 13 degrees at a late degree of 13 degrees, which means we're stepping into 14 degrees. We're really coming into the 14th degree of the Sabian symbol. And it is in the heat of the noon hour, a working man takes time for a siesta. And it just aligns so well with what I'm talking about. We all just need to take a nap on this October 6th new moon week and just reset the need for recuperation within the social pattern of everyday activity that has led to exhaustion. And at emotional level, we are not able to sustain our constant activity anymore. There must be some rest periods, siestas or coffee breaks at the least, during which an individual can draw within his own sphere of selfhood. And not only for physical relaxation, but also for the allowing the strange but evidently necessary play of dreams and fantasies to inspire the mind. Social structuring cannot be maintained without usual healthy breaks. In whatever climate, the body needs some quiet and reflection and relaxation from nervous tension. So this symbol symbolizes a deep inner need for us all to seek out relaxation, and a need to allow the functions of the body and the psyche to digest what's been going on. Boy, don't we need that time to digest everything that's been going on for the last 2 years. We need some freedom from our external pressures now. The complex experiences of social influences, and particularly of our businesses. And I just love the Sabian symbol for this new moon in Libra, the sign of balance. And I am personally craving a siesta, a retreat, a pulling inward. As I'm a Scorpio, I'm going with a lot of planets in my 12th house right now, and I am honoring that 12th house transit. I'm really trying to take some time for myself to get the self-care. I just had acupuncture with Dr. Krisha Olson, and it was amazing, and trying to get some massages. And I know my massage practice has been really full with so many people, so many moms just needing this siesta as well. I've had more clients fall asleep on the table this week than I think I can ever remember. Everybody's just so exhausted. They hit the massage table and they just go out right now. And everybody I know has just been working so hard in these last 2 years, just trying to pivot their business, worrying about the childcare, work-life balance. So many people working at home. It feels like there's no break, no rest in between what is work and what is home life. It's all jumbled up together. And so many of us are looking for that Libra, balancing the scales, taking time for self-care. Libra, if you know any Libras are so good at taking time for themselves and taking time for self-care. That's something that I really look up to in my Libra friends, is how well they take care of their own health. And we could all learn a lesson from Libras this Libra new moon. And it is time to unplug, seriously unplug. Get off the social media. Lay on the couch and read a book. Remember books? I'm actually going to start reading Brandi Carlile's new book, and I'm just excited to read a book instead of listening to all that social media. And try to get more sleep as the days grow shorter, allowing that night energy to give you those powerful dreams. And stop watching the news and just take some time off of the external voices and find inspiration by listening to your own inner voice this month. So take your time this fall season to nourish yourself, taking your vitamins, drinking more herbal tea, less coffee, and self-care, self-care, self-care. I plan to just lay on my infrared biomat more this season as we start to cool down where I live in Central Oregon. We're starting to get those chilly temperatures. I love laying on the infrared biomat and just meditating and just do nothing for now, and just know that you have enough and you can take this rest. And I was just plucking all the new growth off of my tomato plants, and I thought it was so symbolic because they say at this time of the year, if you still have a lot of green tomatoes, I have like 100 green tomatoes on this plant, and yet the plant was still trying to grow upwards and create little flowers, and it's like, no, it's not the time. And so many people I know are just trying to make things happen, and it's like, this isn't the time of year to be growing upwards or planting little flowers. This is the time to be pulling back and harvesting and letting go. And so I had to cut off all of those little flowers and all the upward growth. And I thought, wow, that's so symbolic. I've got to focus on harvesting what I've already have. I've got to pull my energy in to ripening the fruit that is already on the vine and not trying to reach for more things to start. This isn't a starting time. this is a ripening time. And sometimes when a plant is going to ripen, it needs to go dormant. It needs to stop growing and ripen. And in that ripening, it needs rest. And then we add in Mercury, who is retrograde also in Libra, and that's really close by this alignment as well. And that Mercury in Libra is also affecting how we relate, how we communicate in relationships. And not just our love relationships, but our work relationships, our partnerships, all of our family correspondence. And so Mercury will be retrograde for a while now. And but this Mercury isn't all bad, because this Mercury is also trine Jupiter, which is a good auspicious aspect, and it's conjunct two of the most auspicious stars, the star Spica, who we talked about in the last reading, the Pisces full moon reading. If you want to know about this incredibly auspicious star, Spica, the bright blue wonder, go back and listen to the Pisces full moon report to get more about Spica and how you can use that energy to really manifest. And then we have Mercury retrograde also conjunct Arcturus. And so Arcturus and Spica are joining together, joining forces. And those are two of the most potent, powerful stars, especially for manifesting. So even though it's Mercury retrograde, don't get down about that. You can still manifest, but it's more of an internal, dreamy, magical, letting things come to you and just allowing things to find you, rather than growing up or going out and trying to make it happen. This is a take a nap and then suddenly you get a check in the mail. Has that ever happened, when you just relax and you quit trying to make money and then, whoo, surprise, money just shows up at your doorstep? I love it when that happens. And so we also have some major eclipses coming in November and December, as I was talking about. And it's like we are already entering that eclipse portal season. We're already soaking in that transformative energy. And there are huge changes on the horizon for us all, and a collective conscious rebirth coming that is I'm actually looking forward to it. And it's going to take a lot of time for us this fall to just process all the different transformative energy that's coming in. I will talk more about the eclipses in separate eclipse readings coming soon. So make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification. You don't want to miss the eclipse reports, because those are some of the most exciting reports of the year. But it's almost like our Earth is already getting ready. We're already entering that eclipse portal energy, and there's some really fascinating stuff going on with the Schumann resonance, if you know about that. On September 26th, the Schumann resonance frequency, that is the sound of the earth. And you can just go down a whole Google rabbit hole. Just type in Schumann resonance energy and you will just find all kinds of stuff to study. I won't go into full depth, but it's basically the energy frequency. If any of you listen to binaural beats, I know I love binaural beats. When you listen to binaural beats, you have like 400 frequency, 800 frequency, and you can go up the levels and you can increase your own energetic frequency to just even manifest more, the higher your energy frequency. And this is something we do with Reiki as well. When I give students a Reiki attunement, it increases their energetic vibration and allows them to then receive an even greater abundance. But right now, the Earth's own frequency, the Earth's own Schumann resonance is actually increasing like just off the charts. Scientists have never seen anything like this. And so maybe you remember around September 26th what was going on for you. It's not all rainbows and unicorns when we get these huge energetic frequencies lifting us up. It can actually cause a lot of like ascension symptoms. And so I know a lot of my massage clients were coming in with severe headaches, insomnia, jaw clenching, tightness, like muscles just seizing up. And it can also cause a feeling of just being out of your body, or just like you can't focus, your mind is somewhere else. It's very dramatic when the energy frequency of the whole planet just increases to levels we've never seen before. It was really affecting us all around then, and we're still soaking in that as well, and even having a lot of geomagnetic storms like we've never seen before. And the scientists are saying the aurora borealis this season, if you happen to be able to get to Alaska or even northern Canada, they're going to be having some aurora borealis storms like we have never seen the likes of before. And this is all because of this energetic frequency, the magnetic storms, just a lot going on. And it's only going to keep increasing as time goes on, as we get closer to the eclipse, which is sort of bringing us into this new golden era that is coming. It's super exciting, but it's also stressful. It's like when you were a kid and you grew 2 inches. It's like, whoa, I'm taller now, but oh my gosh, you go through all these growing pains and you're bumping into cabinets, and there's just a lot. It's like our earth itself is having some growing pains as we increase the energetic frequency right now. And as we have all this energy coming in and something really transformative is brewing, it's just not a good time to be making any big life decisions right now. And I know this whole year seems like so many people are trying to make decisions, and once again I'll say it's not a good time to make decisions, but this is a good time. You can still be weighing your choices, and feel free to do that, because Libra loves to think about decisions. So, like the scales of the Libra going, up and down, we can have our pros and our cons and make lists, and you can think about what you're deciding next. I know I have a couple of really big, huge decisions on the horizon, but I'm not going to make a quick decision. I'm not going to go, I'm going to go with this or that. I'm going to do that. I'm really going to allow myself the season. I might not make that big decision until after these eclipses, to be honest. But right now I'm already starting to write some, I think it was Benjamin Franklin who was like, write out all your pros and all your cons and try to help you make decisions. And then I always get out a coin and just start flipping it. I swear flipping a coin is how I've made some of my biggest life decisions. But it's also a really good time to just clean up your mental clutter, to allow yourself the time and space to be able to think clearly and not be influenced by all the garbage that we're hearing on social media, on TV. I know for myself, I am cutting that kind of screen time way down. I'm not watching the news. I get on social media, I do what I need to do, and I get right out. I mean, if you're wondering why I'm not commenting, or maybe I forgot your birthday on social media, it's because I'm in and I'm out. And then mostly what I'm doing for entertainment right now is like really hand-picked shows that are more positive, and watching YouTube, because on YouTube at least I can choose my teachers, like great teachers like Thich Nhat Hanh, who can inspire you and get you in a good place, and just listening to some good podcasts like Krista Tippett on Being, where they're saying very positive things about what's coming and not listening to the fear mongering and just the garbage that you'll find on. And social media, you don't have a choice. It just comes at you, So I would say take control of your media this season. It is going to be more important than ever. And choose your medium. Choose love. Choose teachers and the media that is speaking of the love and the higher vibrational teachers. And we will all be moving into this fifth dimensional higher places of existence, and it can be a very positive time if we choose to be more conscious with our thoughts, more conscious with our inner dialogue. Be very careful of the ideas that you are consuming. This season in particular can really chart your course, and if we can get in the right mind frame, we can have quantum leap transformations, manifesting like we've never done before. But if we are bogged down in fear or negativity or, all the bad stuff you see on social media, we can have psychological breakdowns, severe depression, and even suicides are up right now. And I think it's caused by so much of the negativity people are consuming. So just choose your media carefully. Think of it as food for your body, food for your mind, and for the sake of your mental health season, be conscious about what you're taking in, what you're listening to, what you're visually looking at. And some of the planets that have been retrograde, gosh, it feels like they've been retrograde all summer, they are finally going to station direct this October. And after our new moon nap siesta that we're all going to tape, we can finally start moving forward again later this month, closer to that Aries full moon. When I put out the Aries full moon report, it's like, okay, now we can start to go forward. And the biggest power player planets will be Pluto, that stations direct right at the new moon in Libra, and Saturn stations direct on October 10th. And Jupiter will station direct on October 17th, the exact same day when Mercury Retrograde is over, as Mercury will station direct. And when these powerful planets, these are the big gun planets, when they station direct, their energy can be felt even stronger, and it's like a giant cargo truck that's making a very slow U-turn right in front of you, and you're just backed up in traffic waiting for this truck to get turned around and go the other way. And you can just still expect delays. Even, it's not like that day they station direct and everything's going forward. It takes a while because the energy's been going backwards, and then you got to pull it back to forward. And these planets are so big and powerful, it doesn't happen like that. So be patient and know that some of these planets stationing direct they're going to have huge impacts also on what's going on in our world events. Like, we have so much going on with Congress right now, and I just love the report that Pam Gregory just did, an amazing astrological deep dive into how Pluto stationing direct will be then aspecting America's second house of finances this month, and it is spooky. I would say do not listen to it before bed, because I could not sleep that night when I listened to it, and I was like, oh my gosh, should we just pull all our money out of our bank account or what? I mean, it's kind of scary. We are going through some huge financial revolutions that won't really be resolved until next spring, and we're all feeling it. I mean, everybody's talking about it. It's not anything that shocking, but I love how astrologically it's right there in the chart of America. And if you check out Pam Gregory's, I'll put the link down below, because that one is worth watching. I personally am not going to go into all of what Pluto's doing. As a Scorpio, I've got enough Pluto in my life, but really, I highly recommend learning about it. It's fascinating. And then some of the other retrograde planets, like Neptune, will still be retrograde until December. So that means we'll still be in a little bit of a state of confusion about what's going on in the world until December. And Uranus will be retrograde until January, which is really interesting for that final Saturn-Uranus square in December 24th. As I've been saying, if you've been listening to my reports for a while, Saturn and Uranus square has been the aspect to watch all year. It's been affecting us all year, and about 4 times this year, they've gone exact in the square, and it's like they're in a boxing ring, and the rest of the year maybe they're in their own corner, but then when it goes exact, it's like ding, the bell has rung, and now they're often fighting. But this time on December 24th, when Saturn and Uranus become exact and they're in the boxing ring again, Uranus will be retrograde and Saturn will be moving forward, deep in its forward path. And it almost seems like Uranus is a little debilitated being retrograde, and Saturn has the upper hand now. And remember, Saturn is all about rules, restrictions, mandates, and big life lessons. Saturn is the teacher. Ooh. I have a really strong Saturn in the 10th house, exalted in Capricorn. So I am a strong Saturn person, and I can tell you firsthand that Saturn lessons are the karmic lessons that rock your world, and they're really intense. And Saturn loves, politics and rules, regulations, and all these mandates that we've been seeing for the last 2 years. It's all Saturn. And Uranus is all about freedom and nature and just the wild rebellion, that water that you can't keep in a dam because it's going to break free. But now Uranus is a little debilitated. And so when they come into the boxing ring for this final match, I don't know. If I was a betting person, I'd probably put my money on Saturn for this one. So who knows what's going to happen there. But those of us who have fixed signs in Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio, that's me, and Aquarius, we have been particularly under this Saturn square Uranus all year because, of course, Saturn is in... I said Saturn square Uranus, not Aquarius, right? But anyway, Saturn is in Aquarius and Uranus is in Taurus. So that makes the Saturn square Uranus a fixed sign. In fixed signs, we don't like change. And even though there's a lot that's changing, there's a lot that doesn't want to change. So therein lies the conflict. And those of us in the fixed sign, we don't want to make these changes that maybe are being forced upon us. And so if you are a Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, let me know if you've been feeling these fixed sign squares between Saturn and Uranus, because I know I have. And I cannot wait for 2022 when it is all over and the pressure is finally off of us. We've been really under pressure. And no matter what, even if you're not a fixed sign, I guarantee you have been feeling the pressure as well. And to me, it reminds me of a song I was singing on the way here. We were singing, we're on the road to nowhere, like David Burns. And it's like, that's kind of what these squares feel like. It's like when you have Saturn, coming in with restrictions, and Uranus is like, I'm going to rebel and be free. And we're really going nowhere here with this kind of conflict. It's not good. So I cannot wait for it to be over, that final square on December 24th. And then also coming in this month, going into the 9-star key now, on October 8th, just after the Libra New Moon, we will enter the 6th metal star in the 9-star key. And we are in a 6 metal year. And metal is all about money. So we're going into a 6 metal month and a 6 metal year. I like to say our mind's on our money and our money's on our mind. October is all about stepping into your own power and receiving the financial rewards that are rightfully due to you. If you've had like a lawsuit or a settlement and you received money but you haven't received that money, this is the time to collect. And in this second metal harvest month, there is nothing that you have to do. Remember, like the tomato, you don't need to launch anything or grow tall. Now it's just time to be and to allow the fruits to ripen. And your mantra for this month is to let things come to you now, and be open to unexpected financial rewards. You don't always have to work for the money. That is a really fun law. If you really accept and believe the belief that you don't always have to work for all the money, you can just receive prosperous energy from this 6 metal star, and you will reap rewards. And it's a great month to get into your finances. Pay attention to your bank account. Be aware, watching, balance your books, and invoice for any money that is due your business before the end of the year. And I personally have been receiving much more passive income from multiple income streams with both the 7 metal star and the 6 metal star, and just aligning, just having this awareness that we're in this metal star time and you can receive. And it's just amazing when you plant little seeds and then later on they just bloom and you just receive. I just got a huge bonus. I made it to gold level selling my infrared biomats, and I was totally surprised because I don't really pay attention. It has been the most passive income ever. I have an infrared biomat on my massage table, and when clients lay on it, they fall in love. And I've had Reiki students who've laid on the infrared biomat and fallen in love, and they all buy them and become distributors, and then they sell them, and it just goes. And then all of a sudden, I don't really pay attention, and I open my mailbox and there's a check for $5,000. Woohoo! It's that kind of energy that you can have with this 6 metal star. You could just be like, oh, surprise, 6 metal star is all about inheritance or just money coming to you that you don't have to work for. And it's like the Tao. If you've ever studied the Tao Te Ching, it just happens. And it's just about getting into that Wu way, less effort. And the less effort you do, the more effects you have. And the more open you are to receiving, the more that can come to you. So just let it be. Let it come with this 6 metal star. And I just have one last bit to tell you about today, and it is the I Ching. So the I Ching 52 is just so perfect for it. Just aligns so well with the Sabian symbol of the siesta, because I Ching 52 is keeping still. And 2 mountains stand close together and enjoy each other's stillness. To be still in the presence of another is true comfort. And regular periods of rest are essential to one's well-being. The most relaxed person may not be the one who sleeps for 12 hours a day, but the one who knows how to grab a nap, even when running at 600 miles per hour. Learning to act when it is time to act, and to be still when it is time to be still, is the wise lesson. It is the key to obtaining peace of mind that helps you stay alert, and when clear focus is needed, you are ready. So consider your spine for a moment. Just taking a deep breath into your spine, which serves as a switchboard for all the nerves of the body that move all through the day. And when the spine is kept flexible and healthy through proper rest and relaxation, active movement can be undertaken without any strain. And when the spine is held erect in a balanced sitting posture, the inner balance of meditation can take place. So treat your vitality as if it were a candle in the wind this month. Protect it as though it were the only light in a dark forest on a moonless night. And do not suffocate it with your ambitions or worries. Just call a time out as the days grow shorter and we go into the nighttime skies, and take time to look up at the sky in the dark and see the stars shining bright and still. And just relax and let go of your thinking mind and meditate on just being this month. Peace and good fortune await the one who can let go. So take your nap and enjoy your Libra new moon. Set your seeds of intention and let that be enough to just write out your seeds of intention. I'm going to do a little singing bowl with some distance Reiki. So if there's any seeds of intention or anything you want me to send distance Reiki to on this new moon, just go ahead and leave it in the comments below, and I will write it on a piece of paper. And I will ring it. I might even ring it live. I don't know. I'm feeling like a live on Instagram kind of vibe right now. But I will sing the ring my singing bowl, and I will send Reiki to your Libra new moon intentions. Just leave it below, or you can PM. You can email it to me too if you don't want to say it publicly. So anyways, I bless you and hope you have a fabulous lunar cycle. Take care and take a nap.